All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Bill Burr on the far right and far left losing their minds. Let's check it out.
Our next guest is one of the all-time stand-up greats. He's got an excellent podcast and a very funny animated show on top of that. A new season of F is for Family premieres on Netflix Thursday. Please welcome
We have a new
Bill
season
Burr.
coming out?
Hunky co-star.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
I believe that story. I thought it was real.
I'm seeing
Like
you
I'm on my way. I'm going to be on the cover
This
of
is
People
going to
magazine.
be the first encounter with Jimmy Kimmel interviewing Bill Burr. So let's see how this actually works out, because I know him and Conan have like an energy that just is magnetic, guys.
Sexiest bald orange men from the East Coast.
Her pals fear Sandra could be falling for comic Bill Burr.
Oh, wow.
Why do you think her friends feared you?
No, that's the Inquirer. None of that.
Oh,
is true.
none of that's
Everybody
true.
got a big laugh.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think
Because
it's
the
nice to be
Inquirer is
included in that context and by
not
in any
trustworthy,
situation,
guys.
really,
Has
right?
issues. Let's just
People
say that.
Just making up about you? No. No, I'm not into that. I like to be left alone, and if you're going to talk about me, you know.
I feel like I would, if even the Inquirer people would go, no one's going to believe this. If it was me, you know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? Look at you. You got a suit on. You look kind of smart.
That's true. But
Right?
you should see what
Guys, his
happened.
boots are amazing.
I believe you.
Thank you, Bill. It wasn't the last time, but I think, like, right at the beginning of the pandemic, I drove to your house to interview you, and I had a camera, I had my iPhone, really, in the car, and you were standing out front of your garage. And you were...
Still don't understand why you wouldn't get out of the car.
What?
He just pulled up like I don't know what I was,
Right.
like you were afraid of me, and you were just yelling these questions at me outside. And I was thinking, like, there's no way this is going to play.
Guys, that's guys, imagine somebody who drives up to your house, asks you questions through the car window, refuses to get out, refuses to have like a proper camera or anything like that. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it, bro. I would have sent him home. I don't care who he is.
No way this is going to look good on TV, but it did.
And somehow, magically, you pulled it off. But I gave you a roll of toilet paper at that time, and you wouldn't even touch it with your hands. You kicked it down the block.
Yeah, because they didn't know yet
Okay.
They didn't
whether
know.
or not it could transfer that way.
And now, here you are, back on the road. You're in Las
it was during
Vegas,
those
probably
times.
the dirtiest place in the whole world this
Maybe to
weekend.
mention.
The key with Vegas is you get up early. If you get up early, you can walk the strip in like 10 minutes because all the degenerates are like face down and whatever they did the night before, shaking it off, trying to jump from a balcony, and you can just cruise right down. Yeah, I was there with my wife. We did the gondolas.
You did?
At Venice. Yeah,
You
we
did?
walked by the Eiffel Tower. It's like white trash Europe. You can just get it all out of the way. Like, hey, you want to go see the pyramid?
Right, let's go
check
see the
it out. I don't
pyramid
need to go to
today.
Egypt. I mean,
It's right
it's a
here.
pyramid. The ones in Egypt got a big light going up to the space shuttle? I don't think they do.
You ever
We
stayed?
got whores in our pyramid. You just got a bunch of dead guys. I don't want to go over there for that.
Have you ever stayed in one of those rooms at the
Guys,
Luxor?
Egypt is
I never worked the Luxor.
Guys, Egypt is troubling. So, absolutely. Okay, if you want to actually go see the pyramids, check them out in Vegas, because Egypt is just so, like, my experience with Egypt is not amazing, and a lot of the other people who I know, I've also had terrible experiences in Egypt. They just need to work on how they speak to people, I would say, right? And have a set price for everything. Because if you ask one person one price, they're going to tell you one thing depending on how you look, if that makes any sense. Purely rooted in. If you look like you have money, they're going to times it by 1,000. Okay? Those rides on the camel to the pyramid should be like $20. Okay? If they say anything other than that, bro. All right? Remember, I'm telling you this right now, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
just,
The pyramid, it's in the room, you're like leaning backwards. Like, I mean, the rooms are slanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my first apartment was like that.
Is that right?
Yeah, I lived on the top of an old house. They converted an attic. So when you would walk in, you had to walk right down the middle of the roof.
All those bonus
and then
rooms.
it expanded to the bigger area,
Right,
the living
right.
room area. Yeah, I lived there with my brother. And we had a little TV. And I remember sneaking because he wouldn't let me watch his TV. Said I was taking time off of the tube. So I remember I was watching the
Guys, the
Pistons
energy is definitely different with this interview.
versus the Lakers in '88, and I heard his car pull in, and I shut it off. And he came upstairs, and he came walking in, and he put his hand on the back of the TV. And you're watching my TV. We didn't have money, you know, so there was a lot of fights over nothing.
You're going on a tour.
It's almost like Jimmy is just trying to get to the next question. If that makes any sense, guys.
At the beginning, is it the beginning of
Guys,
next year? Is
let
that the
Bill
plan?
breathe.
Yeah,
right?
I've been on the road the last 7 of the last 8 weeks, and just, you know, people out there are fine. People are nice. 85% of people are totally cool. It's just everybody on the extreme left and extreme right have completely like lost their minds. Everybody else is just kind of sitting there.
You're
like,
absolutely right.
yeah, they're just trying not to get in trouble. Like, when are mom and dad gonna stop yelling at each other about
Everything.
gender-neutral bathrooms that you can hang an AR-15 in, or whatever
Wow.
it is that they're flipping out
Right.
about. I think everybody else would just like, you know, good Lord, what is that?
This is your action figure from The Mandalorian. Have you not seen this?
Is that real?
That's pretty damn cool. I kind of look a little Russian. I feel like my
Zoom
name.
in. You
I
do
should
look
have been
Russian.
Boris, or
Boris.
something.
There is
Boris
a...
Burr.
it's- oh, you're almost doing duck lips, it looks like. The,
You know what? Sandra Bullock would have dated that guy.
oh, yeah. No question about it.
I'm doing the thing that used to get your friends on MySpace. Way back in the day.
Are you a Star Wars guy?
I'm a sports guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
more of a
thought.
sports guy.
Alright.
So it's been interesting to go into that world because, you know, those fans are just as rabid as sports fans are, but their vibe is totally different. Where Star Wars fans are like, hey, wow, I really liked you in that episode. They're all like respectful and stuff. And then, like, I always know it's a sports fan because I'll just be walking down the street with my wife and I'll just hear, hey, Billy Bitch Tits!
Wow.
Hey,
What's funny is that, guys, I've never actually been able to partake in any type of Star Wars without falling asleep. I know that now that I have the movie channel, we're probably going to end up at some time entering into the Star Wars universe. Guys, I've always been like super hardcore Star Trek. All right. Stargate. Like, this is my type of thing. But I also think that there's a different audience also for these things, right? I just could never, like, get into Star Wars. I apologize, guys. Right? I absolutely apologize. I'm a terrible person, I'm guessing.
pants suck! And I'll be like, hey, thank you. Thanks for listening to the podcast. So, although the Star Wars people can get a little creepy. Like, they seem like they'd be in your bushes.
Right.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Where a sports fan would just be urinating on your bushes. I think they would be in it trying to think, I don't know.
This is your...
He held the baby Yoda.
This is what, the 5th season of your...
I need to see what his living room looks
Let him
like.
breathe, Jimmy. Let him breathe.
F is
Let
for
him riff.
Family is not for children, first of all. I think it's important to say that, even though it is animated.
Absolutely.
Yes, no, it
Yeah.
isn't. It's not for children.
In fact, I was watching the first episode, and you actually say the F word to a child on in the episode.
Yes.
The show is amazing, guys.
Loosely based on my dad.
Right. Loosely.
Although I've been known to do it too. He's really a lot of Frank is me. Frank Murphy on yeah.
Is it you, or are you basing that on your dad, your friends' dads, or people that you know? Because he seems to be a very angry guy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's sort of an amalgam of everybody's dad in the room.
Okay.
When we first put the show together, the show takes place in the 70s, and so we would ask people to just, potential writers to tell stories
About their fathers?
about their
Their
childhood.
crazy fathers?
And if they would just like, I'd walk down the hall and my brother would punch me in the shoulder for no reason and then throw me down the stairs and be like, all right, so send us a script. We'll see what that looks like. And then if they were just like, no, it was great. My mom always cooked and things were fantastic. We were like, all right, nice talking to you.
Right.
So
So
you look
only
for
the
stripes is
debaucherous.
what you're looking for.
Well, I wanted to recreate the 70s that I remember, which I kind of hate how the 70s are
Guys, the
sort of...
stories that he tells about his father are absolutely wild. I guess he would not want me to be a writer for that show because that was not my experience, guys. But I still love the show regardless.
View. Like it's all,
What do you
It all
mean?
became like Saturday Night Fever, lava lamps, and a pacer. And they made it
Pacer.
seem like people that grew up in the 70s, when the pacer came out, like we thought that was a good-looking car. I remember the day it came out, me and my mother laughing, going, what in God's name is that? It's the ugliest car I've ever seen. Where I remember the 70s was more like the Serpico 70s, where there's a lot of Rust Belt stuff.
Yeah,
a
that
lot
car
of-
looks terrible, guys. It is actually in Grand Theft Auto, though. But the car looks terrible.
you know, run-down cars. A lot of people in the 70s still driving cars from the 60s. So it's really important with the look of the show to have it look like that and not be, you know, big collars and lava lamps and people going, groovy, man.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the late...
That's not what it was.
Right, yeah. I think
it's
of
just
like,
his
I don't
own
know why,
experience,
but I think
his
of
idea of the
macrame
70s.
and Holly Hobby when I think of the 70s. You know what that is?
I remember Holly Hobby. That was a girl's toy, right?
Yeah, it's a girl's toy. What, you didn't play with one?
No, I grew up with all brothers, so I didn't know what any of that stuff was. I don't remember what it was.
No. My sister had a Holly Hobby. That's Holly Hobby
did.
though.
Sure she
it was
had
like
it,
this
Jimmy.
weird faded
Shots fired.
That was my sister's. And,
Right.
I only had it because I was hiding it
Exactly,
from her. That's all.
yeah.
I wasn't really doing anything.
Do you remember Free to Be You and Me, that album from the 70s? I should be working. It's a shame the show is over because I could have given you all sorts of stuff. That's a Marlo Thomas album about being accepting.
You've known me throughout the show. You could have called me.
I just assumed you had been like, I don't know the Free to Be You and Me album and hang up on me, even though no one does that
I come off like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. I would have been thrilled that you called.
All right, when I have musings, I will call you from now on.
I send you stuff.
Yeah, please send me stuff. Yeah, you did send me something crazy. Yes, you sent me something totally inappropriate for television.
No, I didn't.
What?
It was top 10. You revived the Dave Letterman thing. Top 10 things Rittenhouse his mother's going to drive him to next. But I don't think it happened. I think that was a bump. I think she only drove him to the police station afterwards. So no disrespect to his mother, but it just struck me as a funny thing.
No, you wouldn't want to
topical joke.
disrespect that woman. She seems lovely. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you. You're very funny. The show's called F is for Family. This is the 5th and final season
Fifth and
of the
final
show.
season, November 25th. Watch it this weekend.
That's
I really
Thanksgiving
appreciate it.
night.
Yes.
Yes, a
Yes,
wonderful way to wrap up the meal. Bill Burr, everybody.
All right, guys, listen. So, I definitely would prefer to see like the interviews on Conan. I didn't really know much about Jimmy Kimmel coming into this very specific video, but I don't know. Either he's uncomfortable, he's scared of what Bill is going to say because Bill is absolutely a truth teller, right? I don't know, guys. I'm trying to figure out why this is why this feels like this a little bit, guys. Bill Burr being an absolute hilarious man, the throughout, obviously, while Jimmy Kimmel is like, stop talking. So let me just answer my next question. He's like holding on for Bill Burr to stop talking just so he can move along the interview, guys. I mean, I get it. He gave him 10 minutes. Give Bill Burr more, guys, all right? Yeah, but I don't know. I can't really say that either because, guys, again, him and Conan together are it's like a perfect match. Let me know in the comments of the next thing from him that I should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can. All right? Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy it thoroughly.